So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first?
Snoop Dogg just received a warning, but not from the police or another rapper. This time, it came straight from comedian Katt Williams himself. Yes, Katt Williams, the guy known for speaking his mind without hesitation. He's publicly calling out Snoop, accusing him of getting too political, or as Katt put it, turning into a political dog.
Your career down the road. People might not want to book you in Texas or Arizona or California.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? Let's let that.
When Katt Williams issues a warning, it's never for show. He's not chasing clout. He speaks only when there's real meaning behind his words. And right now, he believes Snoop Dogg is treading on dangerous ground, a place where loyalty, power, and truth don't always align. Let's break it down. Katt Williams has been on a roll recently, calling out the entertainment world, exposing Hollywood's double standards, and dropping names, from Steve Harvey to Cedric the Entertainer to D.L. Hughley. No one's been off limits. But this time, the name he mentioned shook things up more than ever: Snoop Dogg. And that's because Snoop isn't just another famous face. He's an icon, a figure who evolved from gangster rap roots to a worldwide brand. From Death Row Records to daytime television, from the streets to shaking hands at the White House, Snoop's transformation is part of pop culture history.
I just want to say this real quick. Now I'm a political all you people with the federal government that got not getting paid right now, ain't no fucking way in the world y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid mother.
Was inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States of America. Snoop Dogg performed at the Crypto Ball. Now, Snoop Dogg, he got the backlash because people are like, wait, this isn't the same Snoop from 2016 who had so much to say about the artist performer.
Snoop Dogg has always been a survivor. He's seen it all and kept moving. But according to Katt Williams, somewhere along that journey, Snoop lost touch with his real self. Katt didn't mince words. He claimed that Snoop Dogg isn't the same man the world once knew. In Katt's view, Snoop has shifted from being a voice for the people to becoming a representative of the powerful. Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine.
Of course, Snoop has responded to the backlash he received for performing for a Trump event. One of the things he pointed out was that we always stick together. We're good at tearing each other apart, which is pretty constant. It's pretty consistent when somebody gets into trouble. It takes backlash from the community. It's always a communal thing. It isn't any action they took. It is the fact that we can't stay together, that we can't stick together, that it's us always attacking us. But that flies in the face of the reality of what's happening right now. It is not us who are tearing down affirmative action. It is not us who is tearing down DEI. It is not us who are tearing families apart. It is not us who have decided that affirmative action and rollbacks that have been that had precedent for 50, 60 years are gone. It is not us that is doing it. It is, I think most people are disappointed because they saw you a specific way, and you have a right to kind of interpret and do whatever artistically you want to. No one's begrudging you that. But why the attack on the community because they disagree with something you did?
No, on some real though, it's about time somebody said some gangster shit up in here. Hey, yo. Katt Williams, when did they start selling pimp clothes at Baby Gap? My nigga over there drinking that Hennessy out of that little sippy cup.
I'm good. I'm solid. Still a black man. Still 100% black, Katt said, making it clear he wasn't coming from hate, but from truth. He accused Snoop of becoming what he called a political dog, someone who only barks when those in charge give permission. And if you've been following Snoop's career lately, you can see what Katt means. This isn't the same Snoop from Murder Was the Case. It's not the Snoop who rolled with Tupac and clashed with Death Row, or the one who gave us Doggy Dog World. Today's Snoop is friends with Martha Stewart, does commercials for insurance and pet food, and appears at high-profile events with CEOs and politicians. To Katt, that's not growth. That's selling out. When Snoop faced backlash for performing at an event tied to Donald Trump, he responded by saying the community should stop tearing its own people down. He argued that unity should come first, that the problem isn't individuals making moves, but the culture constantly attacking itself. But critics pushed back, saying that excuse doesn't fit the reality. They pointed out that the real issues, like the rollback of affirmative action, DEI programs, and social policies, aren't being caused by the community, but by the system itself. Many fans felt disappointed, not because Snoop can't evolve artistically, but because he seemed to turn his frustration on his own people instead of understanding their concerns. Still, the back and forth between Snoop and Katt had its share of humor too. Snoop fired back with jokes, mocking Katt's size and style, joking about him buying pimp clothes at Baby Gap and sipping Hennessy from a kid's cup. Yet through the jokes and shade, there's mutual respect. Katt has always acknowledged Snoop's impact, how he made gangster culture mainstream, how he turned struggle into success, how he broke barriers for hip-hop. But in Katt's eyes, Snoop has strayed from what made him legendary: his authenticity, his loyalty to the streets, and his willingness to challenge the system instead of cozying up to it. And when Katt talks about Snoop being political, he doesn't mean just politics in Washington. He's talking about spiritual politics, about losing touch with the truth that once made your voice powerful. Selling out for comfort, power, and image. That's what Katt Williams believes Snoop Dogg has done. In Katt's eyes, Snoop's gotten too cozy with the very people he once criticized. And in a time when truth-tellers are being silenced, Katt refuses to stay quiet. So, how did things reach this point? Let's rewind. Back in the early 2000s, Snoop Dogg was untouchable. He'd made it through the chaos of Death Row Records, built his own legacy, and earned respect as one of hip-hop's true OGs. He was close with everyone, Jay-Z, Ice Cube, and carried himself like hip-hop's big uncle. But over the years, something shifted. Snoop began showing up at political events, speaking up for certain public figures while staying silent about others. He started endorsing brands, politicians, and causes that didn't seem to fit the image fans knew. To Katt, that was the first warning sign. As he's often said, when they can't control you, they cancel you. And when they can't cancel you, they recruit you. Katt believes Snoop got recruited. The tension built as Katt noticed Snoop's silence during key moments in the culture. When rappers were getting blackballed, Snoop stayed neutral. When people started exposing Hollywood's dark side, he played the peacekeeper. And when serious issues about exploitation came up, Snoop said nothing. Yet when it was time to celebrate Hollywood and the elites, he was front and center. To Katt, that looked like a man guarding his position, not his people. And honestly, it's easy to see where Katt's coming from. Snoop's now seen more on TV than in the booth. He's co-hosting cooking shows instead of community events, pushing products more than principles. There's nothing wrong with success, but Katt's question cuts deep. Did Snoop grow as a man, or just as a brand? Because one thing about Katt Williams, he's never chased the Hollywood machine. He's battled it. He's been arrested, blacklisted, ridiculed, and banned, yet he never stopped speaking his truth. That's why people listen when he talks, because he doesn't owe anyone in power a favor. And when a man like Katt calls out a legend like Snoop, it makes waves. Not because he wants attention, but because he fears what happens when voices like his go silent. The story goes deeper, too. Katt and Snoop go way back, both West Coast icons who earned respect from the streets in their own lanes. They used to show each other love, appearing together on radio, comedy stages, and interviews. But over time, that brotherhood faded. Katt began to notice that Snoop was defending the same Hollywood figures he was calling out. The ones Katt accused of hypocrisy, like Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, and Cedric the Entertainer. While Katt exposed them, Snoop smiled in photos with them, acting like everything was fine. That's when Katt drew his line. He said, "You can't claim to be for the people and still shake hands with the puppeteers." A statement aimed directly at Snoop. And truth be told, this isn't the first time Snoop's been accused of switching sides. Back in the Death Row days, he was loyal to the streets. But after Tupac's death, he distanced himself from Suge Knight. And that was the first sign that the doggy dog the world once knew was starting to change. Snoop Dogg has changed alliances many times over the years. After leaving Death Row, he joined No Limit Records, then shifted toward corporate deals and eventually Hollywood fame. He's reinvented himself more than almost any rapper alive, and that's a big reason he's still relevant today. But for some, that same adaptability is why they stopped believing in him. Katt Williams isn't criticizing Snoop's success, he's questioning what it cost. In Katt's words, "You used to lead us, now you follow them." Snoop hasn't directly responded to Katt yet, but the internet sure has, and opinions are split. One side argues Katt's just hating, calling him bitter and jealous of anyone who's made it to the mainstream. To them, Snoop's just doing what any smart businessman does, evolving with the times. But the other side says Katt's the only one brave enough to say what others are too scared to. They claim Snoop's been walking both sides for years, talking about staying real while living corporate, preaching loyalty while moving with whoever offers the biggest check. Katt once said, "The moment you stop speaking for the people stop speaking for you." That's the message he's sending Snoop, that no matter how rich, respected, or legendary you become, if the streets don't feel you anymore, you've already lost. That's why this feels personal. Katt isn't just calling out Snoop, he's speaking to every entertainer who's forgotten their roots. His message is simple: don't let them turn you into something you're not. Because once your voice stops mattering, your fame doesn't either. Snoop's journey shows how complex fame can be. He's been everything: gangster, icon, businessman, comedian, mogul, and he's earned it all. But each new move raises the same question: has he become too polished, too safe, too political? The same man who once shouted F*** the system is now sitting comfortably beside it on talk shows. That's what Katt can't respect. This story's far from over. Katt's never been the type to warn quietly. When he says last warning, he means it. If Snoop even hints at a reply, expect Katt to fire back 10 times harder. Because this isn't just beef, it's a clash between truth and tolerance, between the rebel and the ruler, between two West Coast icons who took different paths to the same fame. Katt Williams embodies the people's voice, raw, unfiltered, unafraid. Snoop Dogg represents the dream, the man who escaped the struggle and built an empire. Both started real. Both changed the culture. But only one refuses to play by the rules anymore. So what happens next? Maybe nothing. Maybe everything. In this game, silence speaks louder than words. And if Snoop stays quiet after this, it won't mean peace. It'll mean the power dynamics are still at play. This is Buzz and Drama, where we break down what's really happening behind the fame. So, what do you think? Is Katt right? Did Snoop sell out? Or is he just evolving like any smart player would? Because one thing's certain, when Katt Williams says, "This is your last warning," you better believe he's not bluffing.